You there, Bo?
Hello.
I have that stupid. Da-da-da-da-da.
51, 55. My IQ is 55. I'm trying to think what else they fucking did, but it's all escaping me. I might just have to do a fucking Group X deep dive tonight.
It's gonna trigger something. It's gonna bring something back.
Oh yeah, I already fucking on Twitter earlier today. I was talking about a time in high school when and we can use this in the episode if we like.
Mm-hmm.
A time in I think this must have been like early high school, like fucking freshman and sophomore year, and it was me and the boys, and we were all hanging out doing our usual Call of Duty thing. But there was also like this was like when you like first started hanging out with girls, right? And there was like this girl there who was like, "Hey, I'm gonna sit in your lap while you play Call of Duty, and if anything happens, let me know." And I kept playing Call of Duty. I did not lose focus. Like a true gamer, Sigma Chad, I did not fucking lose a beat.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean,
pretty proud of myself for that.
Yeah, I mean, you should be. Well,
These babes out here thinking, "Oh, hey, somehow I'm more important than fucking throwing flashbangs at my boys." Because that's what we would do, is we'd set it to, like, you have 1 HP, and you have to shoot the other guys with hit them with flashbangs that you threw. It was fucking stupid. It was loads of fun.
Well, I think I know why that young woman in your formative years did not distract you, because she wasn't the green M&M.
She was not the green M&M. She was no Tifa Lockhart, to tell you that much. But she was also not, and I'm not Italian, but and she was also not the green M&M. Green M&M.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, you'll never have that again. The green M&M has been
made less sexy.
Yeah, I mean, all of them have been neutered, but
the orange one, who was notoriously like everybody's like, "Oh, he's the second hottest for sure."
Yeah, I mean the brown and the green M&M have been made less sexy. The brown M&M now, instead of being in stilettos to let you know that she's a woman, has
because those are women's shoes.
She just has a kitten heel now, like it's a
sensible, yeah.
Which fine, but the green M&M, the infamously most sexy M&M, the most sexy anthropomorphic piece of chocolate,
candy, yeah,
is now in some. Let's talk about sensible. She's in some flats. She's in some tennis shoes.
Fucked up.
And the conservatives are going wild.
This is what CRT is all about. It stands for candy replacement tutoring, which is what they're trying to put in our schools. That, hey, no, you don't want to fuck the green M&M. That's stupid. Go outside, loser. And I say to that, that's tyranny. And we as Americans should stand up and do January 6th, but on Mars headquarters for the whole child slavery thing,
Right. Well, I mean, obviously this whole like PR stunt happened because, they're being sued for child slavery. Funny how these two things kind of coincided with one another.
Yeah, what a funny coincidence.
Just a weird little.
What a wild happenstance, huh?
And again, a group of people who like just love children so much so that they bar anyone from potentially like
stealing children's jobs.
Yeah, aborting life.
Oh, that's what you're talking about. Yeah,
they conservatives care so much about children that they ban abortion because they just love kids so much. Have nothing to say.
You got to hashtag save the children.
Yeah, have nothing to say about Mars, like enslaving children to make very cheap and gross chocolate.
Well, those are foreign children. They're not people. They don't count.
Yeah, but Tucker Carlson was on a fucking rampage about not being able to fuck the green M&M anymore. I can't find the quote exactly, but he said that this is what the liberals want. They want to make cartoons all androgynous to the point where they're not sexy. And it's like, did you want to fuck the green M&M?
Yeah, like we're doing this for a bit, but like was that like a deeply seated thing there? Was that marketing working on you, I guess, is the question.
Was it really working? Did he really want to fuck the green M&M?
Did he, like, every time he's in the fucking, well, not this, because I guarantee you that motherfucker doesn't do his own grocery shopping, but, like, anytime you're in the fucking checkout lane trying to not pay attention to all the bait, right? All the little fucking snacks you pick up there. Was he just popping a boner, seeing a bag of M&Ms?
Just bricked up, just full.
Clenching his fucking jaw. Yeah, big old fucking vein in his forehead. Like I'm gonna go through a bag and just eat the green ones.
Just stick him up his dick hole. I mean, you probably could with the peanut ones because they have like a taper.
I was thinking the minis. Those are like the perfect size.
The minis would be perfect. But I think, because I mean, I know for a fact, and this is like satire. I know for a fact that Tucker Carlson is fully like just experienced in sounding. So
well, there you go.
The peanut ones are no big deal.
That's not even a challenge. I mean, shit, you could stick Snickers in that motherfucker.
Yeah, but
he's run through.
But that's the thing. He does need it to start off with the taper of the peanut M&M.
So what you're saying is hot glue, or perhaps stick together with fondant, some fucking a Snickers and an M&M, and it'll slide right. It'll fall in nothing.
Just like he doesn't have a dick vein. He waits for the Snickers to create the dick vein
to fill the void of his fucking blowy windsock penis. His fucking how risky are forest fires today, ass dong. Yeah, is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, it's just like when you inflate a balloon like too much before it pops and you just let it go and it's just sort of flappy, like it's just like sort of like. That's his dick. Man. That's Tucker Carlson's cock.
See, that's a great bit. Is to like, I don't know what the end result of this is, or like what our goal long term is, but to be like campus culture warriors guys, but against like in favor of male virginity, and like we all got diagrams about the more time dudes come, the more blown out and fucked up their dicks get. until they're just fucking papery sheets flapping in the breeze, like a fucking big old fucking East Asian dragon costume in a parade with nobody in it. Speaking of parades, no, it's like a fucked up Macy's float situation.
Oh yeah, you will be that Barney, that Sonic the Hedgehog that deflates and falls
just
on people
fucking,
and causes injury.
Just a flesh bag with nothing in it. just air fucking quickly escaping.
Psychic Dolphin Garage.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode from the Psychic Dolphin Garage. I'm Dennis, he, they.
I'm Bo, he, him.
And
that's it.
Yeah, it's a
duo. It's the Twink Eliminators. Wait, what did we fucking decide it was?
The Twink Destroyers.
Twink Destroyers, yeah. I'm thinking of that meme. I want that Twink obliterated. Which the Twink Obliterators.
We'll
it's not bad.
No, yeah.
Well, I kind of like it because it gives it like a Galactus, I am the end of your world kind of vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Twink Destroyers, like that's a little more like metal. I'm thinking. Yeah. Is kind of the branding.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay. Here's the thing: get your journeyman's license, and then we'll talk about it. Like, get your journeyman's license. I'll pay for half of the trailer. we'll figure it out.
Yeah,
because like obviously we're gonna be going.
Obviously, we gotta hit the road with this act. Yeah,
yeah. We'll be going from
this pro wrestling podcasting, Twink destroying act.
Yeah. Oh my god, we're gonna be like a sideshow. I'm gonna love it.
That's great. Yeah.
I mean, wrestling is just a side. Like if
we advertise like Big Bill Hells, bring your twink. Well, fuck them. That's right. Well, fuck your twink.
I mean, you haven't been to an indie wrestling show yet,
like
right?
Since like right before COVID. That was like one of the last things. Like that and seeing Birds of Prey.
Oh, that was one of the last things I did too, and I got so drunk that.
Oh, dude, yeah, mine was at a brewery. It was awesome.
No, mine was at a gay bar called the Fault Line, which, rest in peace, it's no longer there.
Aw.
I got so drunk because my friends bought me a drink. I bought myself a drink. A guy that we met there, who was like super cool, bought me a drink. And then there were the alcohol reps who also bought us drinks. I had like 6 or 7 drinks.
That I think is kind of illegal. Maybe it's a state thing. I don't know. That seems illegal, though.
No. They're like, oh, you're drinking White Claws? Well, how about this instead?
Oh, damn. I don't know. It still seems illegal, but I'm into it.
You've never had an alcohol rep hawk you drinks?
No, I've had alcohol reps like, hey, here's a koozie.
Oh, no. Like, here in maybe it is a state thing, but here in California, they straight up can get you, like, liquored up.
That's badass. That rules.
Yeah. It's very rare to happen at a gay bar, and especially since, like, these were, like, pretty ladies. Like, they, you know, like, very much your, like who you would think is going to sell you alcohol.
Yeah.
Tall, blonde, tight black, like, crop top with, like, you know, a lot of décolletage.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, yeah, pretty lady, you can buy me a drink. I don't care. I did have to go to the emergency room.
Oh, no!
Yeah, I was very, very drunk. Sam took me to the emergency room.
Well, I guess good thing you got there.
Yeah. But, you know, I'm all fine now. I was just, they just, like, pumped me full of saline. It's fine.
Yeah. Just gotta get some of that good juice in you, that bad juice out.
Yeah. All right. Well, God, there's so much. There's so much and so little to actually talk about because there's nothing fun, but a lot to make fun of.
I mean, that's been the thing for like, I mean, shit. I feel like with most, like any sort of like, you know, not just us, because I don't want to say that like we're, you know, a run through blown out Tucker Carlson cock or something, but like a lot of like current events and news podcasts, like, you know, like it's kind of just the same shit every you know week, every month. Like, oh, you know, they made this cartoon character not sexy anymore. It's like, all right, they already did that with like, I don't know. We'll figure that out. We'll edit in a character in post. I don't know.
Lola
but you know, it's the same level of SpongeBob. You know, they made SpongeBob less of a Thoticus. And it's weird that like, you know, it's just kind of the same like, oh, culture war thing. Oh, like, you know, the Democrats are not doing anything thing. Like whatever happens to be that.
The culture war.
Oh, COVID's bad. You know.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, there's a big thing happening in the culture war from, you know, the land of your people, Florida.
Uh-huh.
And by the way,
my ancestral swamps.
Great segue. That one, I nailed that one.
You killed it, buddy.
I fucking nailed that one. Anyway, so two big things are happening in Florida. Two bills have passed. Because Florida's big, huge thing, and this is just a thing in the South in general, is like this anti-CRT sort of bullshit.
Yeah,
you know,
like many other regards, Florida is leading the charge directly, you know, off a cliff. They're awesome.
So
really killing it.
They've
being like, you know, anyone who's not white or like, you know, cis or straight.
Mm-hmm. So this comes from ABC News from Chiara Alfonseca. Thanks, Chiara. Florida doubles down on anti-critical race theory legislation. A new bill in Florida would ban public schools and private businesses from making people feel quote, discomfort when being taught about racial discrimination in the U.S. It passed the Senate Committee on Education on January 18th with 6 yeas and 3 nays, and will move on to the debate amongst state senators. According to the bill, an individual shouldn't be made to, quote, feel discomfort, guilt, anguish, or any other form of psychological distress on account of his or her race, color, sex, or national origin. The language mirrors many of the bills that have been introduced in roughly 32 states across the country that attempt to limit or restrict the teaching and discussion of racial history in the United States. Now, I'm a teacher. I'm specifically going to become a history teacher. How the fuck am I supposed to talk about history, like the history of slavery in the United States, without mentioning this sort of stuff? Like this is really, really bad.
Yeah, it's not great. Because, I mean, like, okay, the most, like, generous, you know, fucking, let's start there. The most generous understanding of this law, right, would be like, oh, yeah, we don't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable. That's not what we're here to do. We're here to educate. We're here to learn, you know? Mm-hmm. Obviously, that is not what it is going to be used for. Obviously, what it is going to be is fucking, oh, well, you know, you acknowledge that, like, slavery happened, you know, me, the governor of fucking, you know, whatever fucking state it happens to be, this makes me uncomfortable as an adult man hearing about this middle school class.
Well, and that's the thing is, like, unfortunately, American history has to make people feel uncomfortable. We had a shitty past. We have a shitty present.
We did some slavery. A lot of it, in fact.
the fact of the matter is, our very current state is built upon 400 years of chattel slavery, and things for the descendants of those slaves, and even people who just happen to be the same race of those slaves, is not better.
Yeah,
like, it's
as
really
well as
not that
people
much
of other
better.
races.
Yeah,
From other backgrounds who were fucked over in other ways.
and that was because of the history of chattel slavery still. Like, the reason why there was discrimination against Asians and Latinos is because they were used as a proxy and eventually to replace the labor that was once used by slavery. I mean, this is the same history of, like, Irish people. Irish people were not considered white when they first arrived here in the United States, and they had worked alongside poor black people. And it wasn't until they, like, you know, started being racist against black people and denying them the same sort of humanity, or
you'll
like any
notice that like
humanity.
an early stereotype of the Irish is that they were cops.
Yeah, it's like, like, then they earned their whiteness. Like the history, the American history is uncomfortable. As a person of color, it's incredibly uncomfortable for me to like have to go through history knowing that, like, oh, shit really isn't that much better, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, this ABC News article has a typo in it. They call him Rob DeSantis.
That's awesome.
No, nothing.
No, it wasn't
nothing.
me. I swear, it wasn't me passing that bill. It was my racist evil twin.
This is
Like
like
somehow
this,
more racist than Ron DeSantis, evil twin. Rob
Yeah.
DeSantis.
This article is like 3 days old, 4 days old.
That's awesome. And they
Not
just
been
haven't
corrected.
Fucking,
Yeah. Well, there's another thing that is passed in Florida. It's not that much better.
Good old Florida Bill is at it again.
Florida Bill. This comes
Florida
from
Bill. This guy's out there causing all sorts of mayhem.
This comes from Business Insider, written by Yelena. Ooh, this is Slavic. Desanova. I'm gonna go with that one.
All right. Cool.
Zanova? No, Zanova. It's Zanova. Thanks,
Okay.
Yelena. Florida lawmakers advance a bill that would allow parents to sue schools if staff speak to students about gender identity or sexuality. So, basically making any marginalized person inside of a school feel really uncomfortable to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Florida lawmakers earlier this week passed a bill designed to prevent the discussion of gender identity and sexuality in the classroom. The Parental Rights in Education bill voted on largely along party lines. That's a weird way to make that sentence. By Florida House Committee members on Thursday, quote, is about defending the most awesome responsibility a person can have, being a parent, said Florida State Representative Joe Harding, who introduced the bill according to a report from Florida Politics. The legislation, which advocates call a, quote, don't say gay bill, says parents can take legal action against a school district if Florida teachers speak about LGBTQ topics like identity and sexuality that do not fall under the, quote, age-appropriate or developmentally appropriate guidelines for students.
Mm-hmm. Which I'm sure are going to be set in ways very specifically to, make any sort of like, oh yeah, gay people exist. Make that impossible.
Well, Chasten Buttigieg said this will kill kids. And you know what? I have a little soft spot for Chasten because his husband seems like a terrible person. But I fully believe that this will kill kids. Like, this is
absolutely 100%. Like having, especially in a overall pretty conservative place where, like, I guarantee you these kids don't have, just due to the nature of things, like, socialize outside of, if they're lucky, like either like a GSA kind of thing at school, right? Or the runner-up, just the other kind of light the loafers kids at school, because kids form cliques.
Well, it's not only that, but like this quote here, the bill says that it protects a parent's fundamental right to make decisions regarding the upbringing and control of their children.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm a teacher. I'm a substitute teacher, but a teacher nonetheless. I am part of this whole it's often regarded that teachers are part of this whole upbringing of children. Like, it does indeed take a village to raise a child.
Yeah, if you don't want your kid being raised by anyone else in any way, don't let them leave the house. Fully homeschool them and just do a full fucking
That's just it too. Is like parents don't talk to their kids.
Yeah.
Whether it's because they don't have time to, or because they are just shitty parents. Like, I fully believe that there are just some shitty parents out there who are super conservative and don't want to talk to their kids. But there are a lot of other parents who have to like work 2 or 3 jobs just to, keep their family alive. Like, this is really detrimental. Like, both of these bills are basically signaling to me that Florida is just not a safe place if you are black and gay or black and trans. Like,
yep.
Just maybe not the best place to be if you're a queer kid.
Well, and that's the fucked up thing too. I mean, on top of like the rest of the fucked up things, I guess. But like, shit, man, this is kids, Like, again, like that is as our dear friend of the show, Jason Budig, pointed out, like, that's a very vulnerable population.
Yeah, and I don't know about you, because like you came out and figured out you were bi much later in life as an adult. Where
I did all this shit on easy mode. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's a lot easier when you're a kid, when you're that young, and I remember because I was there. It's hard. It is really hard. You feel isolated. You feel like you can't talk to anyone. It would have been really great to know if I had like a gay teacher or like a LGBT group on campus, but actually the GSA that was proposed, and one of the teachers was really like trying to get to be on campus, was denied because it had nothing to do with academics, and clubs have to do with academia at the district that I went to. But there was a Bible club on campus. And I failed to still see, like, I mean, you could study the Bible academically.
Yeah, I know, because I'm sure that was what they were doing. Yeah, it was just strictly,
But
that sucks.
Yeah. So, like, this is gonna stop there from, like, this really is just gonna stop like GSAs from happening. Like, queer kids are gonna be made to feel incredibly uncomfortable on campus, and this is just
more uncomfortable than I'm sure they already do, due to kids being shitheads. Like, like, it's picking shit up like that from their parents.
Like, it's just really tough to be a queer kid in high school. It really is. You have a lot of like internal homophobia to deal with. You have like homophobia from people like you in high school to deal with. not to call you out.
Hey, man. I was not a good noodle.
No, you've
I've done some growing since then. Yes,
since being 15, you're no longer someone to yell faggot at someone across the street unless they want it. Like, unless
no, like if somebody's into that and like that's like a come on, absolutely, totally.
Oh, 100%. Like, that's like, scratch your back. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. And that's
a kind of guy. That's a kind of guy on Grindr. I guarantee you, the dude looking for the high school, like, of course, this is like the 1950s ass like trope version of it, right?
Oh yeah,
the, like,
just wants to be shoved into a locker.
Dynamic. Yeah.
Fully.
Give me your lunch money, kind of ass dude.
Yeah. Well, speaking of high school boys and their pastimes, Microsoft earlier this week bought completely outright Activision Blizzard for $70 billion.
Yeah, a regular sum of money for companies to utilize.
Yep. And the thing is, though, there's a lot of questions still surrounding this from both the gamer side and the not-so-gamer side. And because this is a hot girl podcast, we do have to talk about games. So,
of course,
everyone
Stardew
who's not
Valley,
a hot girl.
Animal Crossing. What are the other girl video games? You
Dark
know that one
Souls.
Reddit post? The one I'm talking about? This is not just me being a fucking
No.
freak whole cloth here.
No. Dark Souls, though.
Dark Souls, yes.
The most girly of girl games.
Yeah.
The hottest girls play Dark Souls.
Absolutely.
So this comes from Kotaku, from CC Jiang, thanks CC. Report, Bobby Kotick meeting leaves Activision Blizzard staffers unimpressed and worried. Activision Blizzard's embattled CEO showed up late and failed to address actual employee concerns. This morning, which was Thursday, Bobby Kotick held an all-hands meeting with Activision Blizzard employees to address Microsoft's acquisition of the company for $68.7 billion. He stated that that Microsoft would be trying to, quote, retain as many of our people as possible, and that he planned to stay on as the CEO of Activision Blizzard until the deal closed. Sources suggest rank-and-file employees did not appreciate the session, in which Kotick was typically unwilling to address pressing issues like the company's cultural or sexual harassment. Now, I saw a lot of shitty people online being like, well, what does this mean about Fallout on PlayStation? And I'm like...
Yeah, because that's really worth worrying about is Fallout on a console.
Or like, not Fallout, fucking... What do they own? Oh, COD. What does this mean about COD on PlayStation?
Oh, yeah.
Which is like, PlayStation or like Sony had a release saying like they hope to see that Microsoft will, honor contracts that have already been made, which is fine.
Yeah.
Like honestly, Microsoft is very smart. They're not going to like they're very much in the eye. I mean, they just spent $70 fucking billion on this shit. I think it probably behooves them to put fucking COD
making money from
on a PlayStation.
Yeah. Also,
I think
also, who gives a shit?
Like, play better games.
Call of Duty. Like, yeah, play better games, exactly.
Uh-huh.
Like, play some fucking pixel art indie RPGs about depression, then get back to me, alright?
Yeah, play fucking Stardew Valley.
Yeah, play Stardew Valley.
Uh-huh.
I've never made it past the first year myself because ADHD, I guess, but, you might like it.
I've had two guys separately on Grindr last week ask me if I have Stardew Valley, so we could
see. There you go. Yeah.
But
God, Grindr and Stardew Valley's gotta suck.
But like yeah, okay. What is this like? There is like the business aspect of it, like obviously because this is a communist podcast. The whole monopolization, the Disneyfying of the of a pastime of ours. Because again, Hot Girl podcast. Hot girls here, you and I talking about
play
games.
Video games like hot girls do. Yeah,
like the acquisition of tons and tons of IPs is a big deal. Like there's very little competition now because Microsoft can't really make games for themselves. So now they own things like COD, Diablo, WoW, StarCraft,
Overwatch 2 whenever that comes out.
Candy Crush.
Oh yeah,
which is
right.
huge. Candy Crush is like one of the biggest video games on the planet, next to Fortnite and Minecraft and Among Us. Like it is like people don't consider it because it's like a phone game, but it's like, guess what? Your mom's a gamer. Your mom's a gamer.
Yeah.
Your mom's probably more of a gamer than you are.
Probably.
She probably spends so much time on fucking
just gaming
Candy Crush
24/7. Yeah.
You're like moms were the ones who like started the whole like multiple Facebook accounts so they could send like
so they could grind
gifts.
Farmville. Yeah.
Like your mom is a gamer, but but like this also leaves us in a weird, like not just us but like the public, but like the actual workers at Activision in the dark when it comes to their job security. Like nothing says that, no one has said that Microsoft has to keep all of them, and most of the times when mergers like this happen, they don't.
Yeah. A lot of people get shit canned.
Yep. So CC goes on to say employees are taking this messaging as further indication that Kotick may not remain as CEO once the acquisition is complete. However, it also means that he could likely remain the head of Activision Blizzard for at least another year. In the meantime, the developers have to endure the leadership of a man who has shown complete disregard for their labor rights and their rights to a workplace without discrimination or harassment. Bo, before the show, reminded me that this was also the company that stole breast milk. Like people...
I mean, yeah, I was going to say, I can only imagine, like, this fucking, this meeting with Microsoft and Kotick and all that, like, right before he quits, and he's just a coffee mug full of it. Full of pilfered breast milk.
Right? Like...
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
for
those who don't know, I should maybe fucking line this out a little bit. Yeah, that was part of the like just general like frat boy culture, like harassment thing. Like employees who would like store their own breast milk, like that they would do for their kids, right? Like in the company fridge. Fucking like it got stolen. And presumably people drank it, I guess.
Ugh.
And yeah, it's good old Bobby. Good old Bobby in his mug.
The Washington
Pretty
Post
fucked up.
source was similarly pessimistic about Kodak's willingness to fix the issues at his company. Quote, he likened Activision to be as important as his children, and I feel like he will not let go of it. With no mention of the strike, the lawsuit, or any of the continuing issues, there may as well not have been a Q&A at all. We could have read a press release and slept an extra 15 minutes. According to the source from Raven Software, while Kodak is wasting workers' time giving fluff pieces, the striking workers continue, without pay, to push for the reinstatement of their laid-off colleagues. So, again, don't buy from Activision. Don't renew your fucking WoW subscription. Don't participate in this season of Diablo. Like,
yeah, again,
just
play better games.
Yeah, just don't fucking do it. Like this is bullshit. There are still people who are striking who want their fucking breast milk back. This is like, I don't think, like, Microsoft has a pretty clean record when it comes to this, like, to worker happiness, but when it comes to labor rights, we know almost nothing about it, and but we do know
which
that...
is not a good sign, yeah.
No, that's not a good sign, but we do know that, back in the day, Mr. Billiam Gates was very anti-union, and he still is, but he's just not the head of Microsoft anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this...
I mean, shit, like, and we've had, like, this budding, in response to, just an awful, awful company culture, and, just the also other bog standard awful bullshit that comes with the games industry. Yeah, we've seen a lot of, like, recent labor movement stuff, which is badass. Fucking Game Workers Alliance, allying with the fucking CWA, stuff like that.
I mean, it eventually catches up with all new technological, like, industries, and gaming is no different. It's just, I wish that it, like, happened a lot sooner, because, like, gaming companies are, like, 40 years old now. Like, Activision started in, like, the late 70s.
Yeah. I mean, fucking, we go back to our good buddies at Nintendo. Shit, like, they were a playing card company back in the day. It's, not quite the same thing, but, like, just I think part of the reason, and this is, speaking as a total outsider, so I have no idea, but I'd say, yeah, part of the reason that, like, game companies, like, never, like, had, like, a strong labor thing, in addition to just general reason that, labor's beat to shit in this country, is, like, yeah, it's a bunch of shitty, like, boring guys who think they're, like, king shit of fuck mountain,
Well, especially since, like, Nintendo started, like, during the Meiji period, which is when they were going, like, pretty fash, and, like, and then survived all throughout World War II when they were fully fash and, like, imperial. Like, Japan as a country was imperial and, like, taking over, parts of the Pacific and Asia.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's what we need. That's what we need is a full on, like, Japanese nationalist game company.
It's very interesting. It's very hard to find any sort of information about Nintendo during World War II. The only thing that I've ever been able to find was that they did make a Allies versus Axis chess set.
Oh, well, that's adorable. Good for them. So technically, what you're saying is that that, like, shitty Mario chess set you see at, like, Spencer's is a sequel to that. That's what I'm hearing.
Yes, 100%. Cool. It's the part 2.
Awesome.
Well, we go from one shitty market and workplace to another shitty market.
They're not great, folks. None of them are.
No. But this is at least good to hear. This comes from Benzinga, which I really had to search for something that wasn't
Bazinga.
I had to search for something that wasn't so, like, pro Bitcoin, and it was still very hard to find. But this comes from Bibu Patnaik. Thanks, Bibu. As cryptos implode, Dogecoin co-founder Billy Marcus says crashes in crypto happen, quote, a lot.
A lot. No big deal. This is normal.
The overall cryptocurrency market remains in the red on on Sunday, the world's biggest cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, is trading at $35,715.9, down 17.5% in the last 7 days. Bitcoin dropped below the key psychological level of $40,000 Friday. The bloodbath continued on Saturday as the apex crypto further dropped a low of $34,349.25 before just closing above the 35,000 mark. Ethereum, meanwhile, is trading at $2,493.98, down 25.2% in the past 7 days. The second biggest crypto fell off the key $3,000 level $3,000 level on Friday. Basically, everything is going down.
Yeah.
Which, good.
Yeah,
like,
it's good and funny for that to happen.
It is good and very funny, but Shibatoshi Nakamoto was his name on Twitter. I do not think his name is Billy Marcus. The founder of Dogecoin said on Twitter, the last bubble burst. Ethereum catapulted all the way down 90% from its peak, and it took 3 total years to recover. Not saying either will happen, but just for some perspective, crashes happen in crypto a lot. Remember, people collectively decide the trade value of crypto by their purchasing and sales. Right now, people have collectively decided it is less than what it thought last year. Anyway, I hate people. Well, a lot of people in his mentions were like, oh, like, don't worry. Like, it took 3 years for this to happen. It won't take 3 years for it to recover. It could happen in 3 months, 3 weeks, or 3 days. And it's like, that sounds really unstable then, doesn't it?
That sounds like, well, A, sounds like cope, and B, yeah, sounds like...
Like, if it
Damn, that doesn't sound like something you'd want a currency for. That sounds like a good fucking, what's the term? Like, a good way to, like, you know, fuck around with internet funny money to make real money instead.
Yeah, like, if it does... Okay, so, like, the full faith... Like, so, here's the thing. You and I both know that money is bad.
Money's fake and bad and the worst, yes.
And the United States dollar is a fiat currency backed by the full faith and credit of the United States, just existing as an apparatus, as a government. Yeah. And that's why it's worth stuff, because the United States... It
is the money because, you know, the guys with the big guns say it's the money, yeah.
Exactly. And that's why it's fairly stable. You know, even... Like, it's surprising to think that even though, you know, we had a fucking insurrection and, you know, we have nearly 1 million people dying because of COVID, the dollar purchasing power, really not that different.
Yeah, it stays pretty steady. Except for those gas prices. Doing, like, fucking, like, immediate pivot from, you know, oh yeah, this is how currency works too. Let me tell you about fucking airline food. You know?
But, like... So the full faith and credit of the United States, like this government, this very bloody government, imperial government, is the reason why the dollar is as strong as it is. Well, like this internet funny money doesn't have a strong government behind it. The full faith and credit.
Everybody has kind of agreed. Oh yeah, this is what a Bitcoin is.
Right, but so the full faith and credit is behind the top 1% of people who are already incredibly rich in the American dollar.
Yeah.
Like that's why that they're doing this. This is only a scam for them to make more money. Like like they don't care that crypto has dropped all that much because they're already fucking rich in the American dollar.
Yeah. Like, if you're fucking, you know, if you're some fucking idiot asshole, let's say Elon Musk, just as an example, like, you can just, like, tweet, hey, would sure be a shame if, you know, fucking Fartcoin, like, plummeted overnight, and then it does, and you buy it all, and then you fucking, you know, just, like, have it come back because you make some epic Fartcoin memes, or you post some fucking epic Fartcoin memes that you found on iFunny, like you do.
So, and this all kind of like ties into everything being very terrible this week with, because I know NFTs and crypto are not the same thing, but they're intrinsically linked.
They are a cringe of the same ilk.
But you know, Twitter for iOS users rolled out NFT profiles, profile pictures. So if you see a hexagonal profile picture, that's someone's, it's an NFT. But they have done it. because crypto and NFTs, like, as a space, are already very limited in their scope of, like, just looking forward.
And their
like,
imagination, honestly, too, because Jesus Christ, like...
So what people have
Yeah.
done, though, is they've taken Bored Apes, like, they've screenshotted, right-click saved Bored Apes, uploaded those and minted those JPEGs to OpenSea, which is a program that mints NFTs, and then have just used those as their profile pictures. So they could fake like they have an NFT. Like it's very, very funny to have like stolen someone's NFT, minted it again, and saying it's yours, and then uploading that to Twitter.com and saying, now I am NFT.
Oh, this is mine. This is my profile picture. This is me. Yeah.
Because I still don't get, I 100% do not get people's like NFT argument. Like, they're like, you're like, oh, you could like just save the JPEG, but like I own like you don't own shit. You own a receipt.
Yeah, no, you have a little receipt for it. That's nothing. That is nothing. Like,
right.
What the fuck?
I still like. I fully don't understand. I watched Dan Olsen's 2-hour video about.
I've got it in my
NFTs.
watch later. Next time I got to do dishes.
Yeah,
that's the move.
It's very good. I mean, it helped me understand blockchain a little bit, but I don't understand what people think about NFTs as like any like they just recreated the art world again, and it's shittier.
Yep.
Because at least in the art world you could get a fucking Picasso. Like I could own a Rembrandt and I would look at
the
it.
Original Bohr vessel. Yeah.
Yeah, like I could look at a piece of art and be like, I like this. But instead they have all these like AI generated ugly pieces of shit.
Yeah, no, essentially a picrue of a monkey smoking a blunt. It's great.
Yeah, exactly. Like, just if you want a cool profile picture, just pay someone. Like,
Yeah.
like
You can have
just
someone
pay
paint your persona getting railed by 15 werewolves. It's great.
Exactly.
I mean, as an example, not saying I have, but as an example.
I mean, we are going to commission I'm a Boy to make a to make art of our two D&D characters fucking, and then I'm going to put it on a mug that says, "Don't talk to me until I've been fucked by my furbolg and bugbear boyfriends." And we will sell exactly one of those mugs, and it will be to Jack. Hi, Jack.
Yeah. Hey, Jack. Thanks for buying our mug.
Thanks for buying our mug in the future.
Yeah.
But like I do not understand the because crypto was invented as a way to
We're going to decentralize money. Whoa.
but that's just the thing is like money needs centralization. Like, why, if you were like, let's decentralize money, then let's just not use money. Like,
Yeah,
like,
I mean that's essentially what, like, if you and your buddies just agree, like, oh, this is our currency, like, then it's just you and your buddies, like, you're kind of just bartering with extra steps.
right. I just like again, I implore everyone to watch the Qualia Redux video about NFTs and their instability. It's very good. I'll link it in the show notes. But and then I'll also link Dan Olsen's video. Both of you, Qualia Redux and Dan Olsen, please come on the show. Friends of the pod. Well, we can say that once they've actually been on the show, or like interact with us on Twitter.
Yeah, that's how it works.
That's
the legal basis. What you do is you mint the fucking, it looks like Dan Olsen, but it's like a lion with like, some sort of like face issue.
Facialer issue.
Yeah. Yeah. There's that one fucking screenshot or meme or whatever going around of the guy like saying like, oh, well, like, NFTs like let you like, on like parties and shit. It's like, well, then you're just paying for, a fucking invite to a party.
Right.
That's very dorky.
Right, which is like, oh god, and then the fucking metaverse, like, what is it, Decentraland, which looks fucking worse than Second Life, by the way.
It is like GameCube level.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
you could just
ugly.
go play Second Life. Just play Second Life. You can even upload your own art into Second Life.
Nope.
You could, if you wanted to pay for it, you could just play The Sims and get a mod to do multiplayer. Like, I just don't get, like, this, like, head-ass libertarian
This
bullshit.
weird capitalist realism that like commands people to like make all of this into the most boring possible fucking it's
and
great.
just the ugliest art.
Yeah.
Just the worst. Go commission I'm a Boy. Get some like fucking beefy boy art in your like get your
On a
favorite
mug.
beef. Yeah.
'Cause that's the medium we've decided. Yeah.
Well, also, like, here's the thing. Like, I talked to I'm a Boy about this, and I was like, oh, can I, like, do this thing or whatever with the art? He's like, yeah, you own it now. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, cool. And I've made, like, I've made, like, little magnets with it and stuff.
That's cute.
I'm like, oh, okay, cool. He's like, yeah, I don't care. You own it now. It's like, you actually own, like, I own this art. Like, I'm not going to do anything without, like, I'm still going to ask his permission because he, like, put time and effort into making it. But, like, I could post it wherever I want. I own it. Like I actually have it. Unlike all these NFT people who just have a
shitty profile pic.
Yeah.
Like a shitty, like, made by an algorithm profile pic. It's great.
Uh-huh. Do you see, like, I have, like, a big beefy boy with a cool mustache and a sombrero. What do you have? Oh, you have an ugly monkey. Cool.
Yeah. It's not good. It's not
No,
great.
it's not good. Well, I love that we get to continue to shit on crypto because it just becomes worse and worse
it do
every
poorly
time.
is very funny. Yeah.
It's very funny and good, and it makes me feel happy.
Yeah.
Well, you know what else makes me feel happy?
What is that? What is that, my dear friend and co-host?
Actual money.
Actual money?
Yes.
I'm a fan.
And we've been given actual money by this group of people that I'm about to read the names of right now.
Ahem.
Shout out to all of our patrons, especially Olive, Julian, Kira, Julia, Dylan, Tim, Jen, the conduit of existential dread of fatherhood itself, Scott, Lizzie, Eli, Knightley, the Warlock Phosphorus, Broobs, Cody, Jorge, Jack, the brilliant Dr. Fly, Samantha, Alex, Rufus, not a mole rat, Tyler, Caleb, Malwin, and Sophia. Thank you all so much for keeping this show plugging along. Let us know how you liked our latest Patreon exclusive episode, and if you want to become a patron, you can do so for as low as $1 a month, and you'll get access to all of our bonus episodes and access to our Dolphins and Garages D&D podcast a month earlier. But if you want your name read, just like the fine folks before, that's at the $5 a month tier. And if you can't, for any reason, donate, we understand we're all broke as shit too. But if you're listening to this podcast on a service that allows you to rate and leave a comment, please do so. It really helps us out. Anything you want to add, my dear handsome co-hosts?
That about does it. Sonic High School. Finally coming out. That's going to be on the Patreon. Maybe in the main later. But if you want to hear some fucking terrible fan fiction reading,
we have a you know what? I'll put it at the end of this. We have a fucking preview for it. So I'll put it at the end of the episode.
There we go.
It's really good. It's
good.
really, really good. Very homophobic. Talk a lot about Sonic's balls.
Oh yeah. Sonic's gay ball problem. Yeah.
Yeah. Which, is all of our gay ball problem, actually. It's all of ours.
Really, here in 2022.
In this safe space.
One gay ball problem, all our gay ball problems.
It really is, honestly.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Thanks so much for listening. Please enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.
Bye. Let's live and learn.
Hey, Knuckles, it's Sonic.
I'm late for school. I have to get to school now. He did not like any class very much that was not about running and going fast, which is what Sonic does best. Hey, Amy, said Sonic. Check me out. And Sonic did a dance move.
Wow, cool, let's kiss. Rouge was telling me about the problems with your balls and penis and butthole that everyone found out about in your English class.
I'm gonna take a sip of beer.
This is not an audiobook. God.
I am always here for you. The prom is tonight also.
Wow, I forgot. Sonic grabbed Tails' hand and said, "Let's go," and ran all the way to the prom, which was on an island called Ghost Island. Ha ha ha, Sonic and Tails. Now you are both here and fallen right into my trap. Eggman, why are you here? I kissed Amy, and now you can never date her again because I'm going to do sex to her tonight. This sucks! And curse words, too.
Want to hear more Sonic High School? Check out patreon.com/psychicdolphingarage.